It's no secret that America's prisons are overflowing with inmates, costing taxpayers loads of money and robbing other public safety endeavors of some pretty vital resources. On set, we have now joining us to talk about some of the 10 ways we can reduce prison overcrowding, Saki Nafo. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to me about this article, which is actually fascinating here, that you wrote for HuffPost, 10 ways to reduce prison overcrowding and save taxpayers millions.
Yeah, there's a new report from the Urban Institute that shows that there are a number, actually 18 tangible things that we could do to reduce overcrowding in the prisons. They range from reducing mandatory minimum sentences that people have to serve. So instead of serving 10 years for a drug crime, you may serve 5 years for a drug crime, to releasing elderly people from prison.
All right. I mean, and there's some interesting things here in that regard. The first thing, it says, send fewer people to prison for drug crimes. 219,000 inmates in the federal system right now, compared with 25,000 in 1980,
right.
About half there for drug offenses. What does that mean on the ground for us? Are we changing drug laws, for example, or are we simply decarcerating, immediately letting drug dealers out? I mean, I'm thinking about how people are worried about this, yeah.
Well, you mean how do we fix it?
Yeah.
Well, the Attorney General, Eric Holder, has announced this new initiative, and as part of this Smart on Crime initiative, he calls it, he's directed prosecutors to just stop prosecuting so many people for drug crimes, just admit fewer of those cases to federal court. So the authors of this report looked at the possibility of admitting 10% fewer cases, 20% fewer cases. Of course, the fewer drug cases you admit to federal court, the more money you save and the less crowded it becomes in those prisons.
So another one here that I really like because it's practical, it's doable, and it probably would pass a smell test for even a bipartisan group of folk who often don't get along these days. And that is number 3, give judges greater discretion over sentencing. It says the problem, obviously, is that judges don't always have to subject defendants to minimum sentences. A judge can deviate from this protocol, but only if the defendant has been convicted of a nonviolent drug crime and has a relatively clean criminal record.
Right.
The fix, as proposed by Durbin, Lee, and Leahy, would expand the safety valve to include drug offenders with slightly greater criminal histories.
Yeah. There are a few ways of expanding the discretion that judges have over when to apply a mandatory minimum sentence. There are also crimes involving guns and certain white-collar crimes that subject defendants to those mandatory sentences. So here they propose allowing judges to have discretion over those crimes as well.
Right.